Skagit Transit began service in 1993 with a vote of the people. Today, 20 years later, Skagit Transit is busy transporting Skagit residents throughout the county and to neighboring counties. Mount Vernon's Skagit Station offers connections with Amtrak trains, Greyhound, Bellingham, Everett, Anacortes ferries, and Island Transit bus service to Stanwood, Oak Harbor, and Whidbey Island.
In order to form a PTBA, it has to go to the vote of the people, and each one of the precincts have to vote that sales tax in. So it was Mount Vernon and Burlington who initially voted the sales tax in. That's why the service started there. We had 5 buses. Those were all grant-funded buses. And in order to start that service, we needed to have a couple spares, so we went out in the marketplace and bought 2 older coaches for spares. There was an awful lot of good human stories of the benefit of public transit, which kind of spread throughout the county in a pretty rapid fashion. Transit, once it started and people started realizing the benefit of it, it grew and people started wanting it, so then we started annexing in other cities. Each transit system is required to have public meetings to meet the needs of the people.
What are those needs? Where is it lacking? We don't have bus service in this area, or we could really use it there, or these buses, if they were used more, they could provide a better service, they could come more often, which is always a biggie. People do not like waiting for the bus. I often hear of people who ride the bus as their only source of transportation. That's getting kids to daycare, getting back on the bus to get to work, taking the bus back to the daycare, and they couldn't work without it.
Our Dollar Ride service is a lifeline for many people. They depend on us.
Dollar Ride has gotten better over the 20 years the current system has existed. It is the main form of transportation for people with disabilities in the county. I do depend on it quite a bit, and it helps me get to dances, game night, medical appointments, movies out at the mall every weekend. But I use it as much as I can and for almost anything I need to do that my wheelchair can't get me to. Most power chairs don't fold up, so you can't put them in a regular car or anything like that, so a bus is the only way to go.
Originally, we were fare-free. Our ridership was way up here. Then we lost half our funding. In 2002, I had to cut the system 53%. We put fare boxes in at that time because there was a perception no free ride. Ridership dropped 40%. Not only were the individuals that used the fixed route impacted by this, but the individuals that use our Dollar Ride service were severely impacted. Those were probably the loudest voice of the needs of the community. As people got used to paying a fare, the ridership came back. Skagit Transit started with 12 employees. We now have over 100 employees. These people serve the community they live in. We currently have 29 buses in our fleet and 11 routes, and our annual ridership is 750,000, so it's obviously the system's being very well used.
We have a purpose that's far bigger than I've seen before. In 20 years, I see more youth involved, and the more we can educate and involve them in public transit, the more they're going to learn about and use, and the more it can grow.
One of our most popular routes is our regional connectors. We operate in partnership with Whatcom Transit in going to Bellingham. We do 4 round trips a day, they do 4 round trips a day. It makes it very convenient for residents of Skagit County to go to Western Washington University. And then we also have a regional connector that operates between Mount Vernon and Everett. That really is tailored to people that commute, and for $2 you can get from Mount Vernon to Everett, and you can meet a community transit bus, a Sound Transit bus. We meet all Sound Transit trains in the mornings, meet them again in the evening when people come home. So for $4 you can make a round trip to Everett and relax while you're getting to work. We also have to report the National Transit Association, so they monitor everything we do, from the boardings we have per day, the boardings per route, the miles per day that we operate, and they even go into how many greenhouse gases we are eliminating in the state of Washington. We see that through 3 of our park and rides that have over 500 cars a day in those park and rides. It's very important to us and part of our mission statement to think green and to be part of the solution.
One of our goals this upcoming year is to bring more employers to the table to see what their needs are, what are their hours of work, how can we help their employees get on the bus to get back and forth to work.
Skagit Transit is very proud of the last 20 years of service that we have given to the citizens of Skagit County, and we look forward to the next 20 years of meeting the needs of this growing community.
Skagit Transit, listening to the voice of the people and growing with the needs of the community.